You ready? No debate, cause it's all. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see as well. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
No, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh
lovely. I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Right, cool. Thank you. Shit. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? It's Korner with Pregame. I am your host, Jared Clem, alongside my amazing co-host, Matt Ordazzo, and joining us from the Tag-Along Studios up in upstate New York, my good friend, our good friend of the show, the highest attendance record in Korner Booth history, besides probably myself, Mr. Ryan McCarthy.
Good evening.
I always like to go with a good intro. Matt, one of these days I'm just going to do a McAfee style intro for you, and it's just going to come out of nowhere. You're not going to expect it whatsoever.
I am 100% down for that.
Well, listen, I've been told by every guest I've had this show, I do very good intros. They may not be Pat McAfee level, but they come close.
No, they're very, very classy, very well put together.
I think Brad's last week was hysterical.
Damn, I'm the only one without a backwards hat on.
Well, I have mine on because I have a weird ass hairline, according to this freaking show. Ryan's wearing his because of the game tonight.
Well, and these headphones give me sometimes leave an indent on my skin. So
Your cranium,
my beautifully bald cranium.
Speaking of beautiful, did you guys see Russell Wilson's new ad with Subway today?
I feel like I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
I am so terrible with this application. If I could do the screen share, I could. I may find it for you right now. Hold on.
I'll find it.
Okay, you find it, put it on the share screen. It is atrocious. I will say this before we get into it. Also, we do have another guest joining us later. A possible appearance from Mr. Kevin of the Tailgate and the Quad podcast. He's alive. Yes, he's living. He may stop by to do some picks with us in a little while. But either way, we're just happy Mr. McCarthy stopped by with his mic. I flashed the McCarthy signal. He returns with a Michael Scarn, as only he could.
Got it. Clean up on aisle 5.
Dude, I just need a freaking win in picks this week. I'm getting slaughtered. Matt's kicked my ass the last 3 weeks, and I'm starting to get low self-esteem from it.
I've got some potential unorthodox picks today, so maybe it'll go in your favor. It could be a little risky. Not really sure how it's going to go, but we'll see what happens. It could either blow up in my face or be amazing.
Yeah, my biggest thing is right now, and I'll make sure today for once I actually put the money lines in the freaking the spread in the freaking titles. I always forget to do that.
I don't know if we should get it out. Obviously. I don't know if we should discuss it now or not. I don't know if anybody's even excited about this game tonight, or this is. I
am because I want to see. I want a Yankees-Phillies World Series. Is that too much to ask for?
I would love that. I would take that in a heartbeat. If you told me this in July that was going to be the series, oh man, I would have fucking bought my tickets already. My thing is, so classic Boone. Why is Tyone coming out of the game after 5 innings when he's thrown 67 pitches? And he's got the Astros in game 1 against Justin Verlander. He's got the Astros at 1 run through 5 innings. Takes him out after 67 pitches. Throws in Clark Schmidt, who just throws the fucking game away, along with the rest of the relievers they threw in there. I don't understand it, because you could have just saved that bullpen an extra couple innings, and he's, like I said, 67 pitches in the 6th inning. He can go 2 more, but he was in a nice little groove. Gave up 1 run. the team wasn't doing anything on offense, but he was helping us stay in the game. And I just don't understand what Boone going with that. The rookie Clark Schmidt, or like the second-year guy, and him in that tight of a game, especially when Tyone had enough pitches for another couple innings.
No, and what really starts to kick me in the nards about this game is the simple fact that every time I watch a Yankees, I don't know if I know you guys don't miss Girardi, but with Boone, it's always felt like he always finds a way to out. You guys seen the league, right? With Ruxin, he always over tinkers. Aaron Boone is the Ruxin of MLB managers. He always has to tinker one extra time. The whole mantra of grip it and rip it is lost on him.
The thing that I liked with Girardi compared to Boone was Girardi wasn't afraid to tell you to go fuck yourself with analytics. He was going to do what he wanted to do, and he was going to win the game how he wanted to win. So I respected that. I've heard rumbles that he's not the greatest coach and player relation kind of guy. You saw how it kind of blew up in his face in Philly, but the only thing I don't like about Aaron Boone is I don't like how he manages the pitching in the playoffs, and I don't like that he's just a yes man that just does whatever the hell he wants to do. I admire his tenacity at times, but sometimes he really makes me wish we had Girardi back. Sometimes.
Okay, so I'm making an audible right now. I'm letting you guys know right now in the six-pack. I'm making an audible. Clemson and Syracuse is minus 13.5 at the moment. I think it's going up. So I am making an amendment to the six-pack. I'm flipping it with Kansas State TCU, which is only minus 3.5, because that is a much better game. I'm sorry, Cuse is going to get railroaded out of this game on Saturday.
That was my upset.
You can still pick it as your upset. It's just you can still pick it as your upset. It's just now you have to pick all chalk or risk picking double upset.
Guys, I got the Russell Wilson commercial queued up whenever you're ready.
Fuck yes. All right. Last notes on baseball. I still think the best possible World Series, one for MLB as a sport and its ratings, and for just a total game itself. I think the most compelling series to me is Yankees-Phillies. New York versus Philadelphia. You already got like the renaissance of the Giants and Jets and Eagles all kicking ass, and now you add their baseball teams to the city. Oh my God, this would be like Northeast heaven. It's Beast Coast versus the rest of us, man. Like, let's go. I love this. But speaking of let's go, it's let's ride. Ryan, let's play for these beautiful people this atrocious trailer. Do I add to the stream? You got this. Let's do this.
There we go.
I call this one
I'll rewind it.
the blind. Here are all the dangerous
Fuck
ways
is
to
this?
find danger which I call this one the fork and knife.
The George Costanza.
Yes.
This is going to be our freaking thing.
Snickers.
The blind.
This is going to be our freaking headshot for today. This picture right there, the blind hole.
The drop in the left-handed. The wielding the upside down. Here comes the airplane. And the most dangerous of all, the rapper.
What? I'm not going to get that just because of that commercial.
God,
I wasn't going to get it regardless, but
When was the last time you actually ate Subway? I'm seriously wondering because I have not eaten that shit in like years.
There was a one night, maybe a few months ago, where for some reason Bianca was very much craving Subway, and I was there, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'm hungry as fuck, and it's like 9 o'clock, and everything around me for some reason closes around 8:30. It was not the greatest decision, put it that way.
I mean, last time I was building a patio for my dad, one of my dad's friends, because I have a little bit of a masonry background and everything else. I was building a bluestone patio with her boyfriend and her soon-to-be son-in-law and her daughter and her son. Like the four of us were building this bluestone patio, and she's like, "Oh, I'll buy you all food." I'm like, "Great, what are you getting?" She goes, "Subway." I'm like, "Oh God." It was great for the 30 minutes it stayed in my stomach.
See, for me, within a mile of my house, I have Subway, DiBella's, Jimmy John's,
Jimmy John's
Jersey Mike's, Nardelli's. So I judge anybody that's going to go out of their way to get Subway. Honestly, when you have
Right.
all of those fucking
Well,
goats
and
around
you haven't been to Southbury in a long time, Matt. There's not much for sandwiches to actually deliver that are close. You either have to wait in line at Mikey's place, which basically was a Jersey Mike's, but they went independent, or you have Nardelli's, which is great. It's just Nardelli's is hit or miss on what you want, and it's expensive as hell, and Subway's cheap as shit. So I think this woman was like $30 over budget on her freaking patio. So at that point, I didn't blame her for picking Subway. So
Oh, breaking news: the Danger Witch is no longer available at Subway.
That was the
Sit
most
down because of all the
cringiest
memes.
commercial.
that is hysterical. I just love the fact that literally within Russell Wilson just fired. Seriously, I don't understand how. I don't understand. Is somebody not telling him what's going on? Is somebody not explaining to him, like, Russ, this is terrible, dude. You have to stop.
I don't understand, like, what's the obsession with Russell Wilson right now? Like, I know
He's
he
a meme.
changed
He's
teams.
literally a human meme.
Like,
There's
the
no other
man-
explanation for it.
Like, the man was holding his hands up on the field, like, as if he was, like, some sort of god with the crowd when they played Seattle. I don't know if you heard this, but I thought I heard a story, like, Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch said that they have to go through his manager to contact him. Like, they don't have his personal cell. They have to go through his people to get to him. I don't know what, and then they got the 5 Pride Time games and they all suck. Like, I just don't understand the hype, and he's getting all these other endorsements. Like, I don't know. Go give that shit to, like, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or somebody that's actually good. Like, I don't understand. He's not looking good this year. He's getting all this shit though.
My biggest thing with this whole Russell Wilson. By the way, I love Josh Allen's Tostitos commercials. They're hysterical to me. Well, and that's like how you make it a good ad. I just think Russ is too focused on being perfect, and like I don't know if he's trying to be cheesy.
He's trying too hard. That's what it is.
Yeah, way too hard. It's turning into this meme, and I'm like, y'all realize this ain't a good look, right? Like, I don't know. I think this is absolutely hysterical.
I gotta share this.
I would rather watch a Dan Oiko's yogurt commercial with Dak Prescott right now than
Or with freaking Cam Newton back in the day.
Cam Newton.
Or Campbell's Chunky with Mama McNabb.
Yes, I'll do that one.
I already got my upset. I love this pick.
I wonder if it's gonna be the same one as mine.
No, because you just said your upset pick is Cuse.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Gimme.
Oh no, I think my upset. Yeah, I haven't figured out my gimme yet. But either way, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Ross just stink it up again this week against the Jets.
I pray that happens, and I pray that everybody on my team can be happy and not request any more trades.
Speaking of stinking it up, gentlemen, we have a good Thursday night game tonight. I'm actually kind of excited for this. D-Hop is back. You got Robbie Anderson in a New Jersey. I actually might start Robbie Anderson tonight. I may do it. Like, I may just say, fuck it, and throw a grenade at my 5-1 record in fantasy. Say, screw it. We're going for the win here, kids. Like,
Robbie and my
lack of fear is at all-time zero right now.
Robbie Anderson is either a receiver that will get you 4 catches for 40 yards, or he's going to get you 3 catches for 115 yards and 2 touchdowns or something like that. He's either a deep threat or he's a short slant kind of guy. If I had to predict, I think today's the day where Kyler's going to sling it. I mean, he's got DeAndre Hopkins for those short little slant passes, just ones for receptions for yards after catch. But Anderson is more of a deep threat guy. He's not the world's greatest route runner. He just is fast. So I'm thinking Kyler's going to launch it tonight to him. And I think D-Hop will get at least 6 receptions on like 9 targets, 10 targets. But I think it's going to be big for Arizona. I think they walk away with this win over New Orleans. I don't even know if Jameis Winston's – I think he's playing, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think somebody want to check on that? Like, I'm just putting in entering things right now. Well, like, so I'm really confused. Somebody else want to check on the spread for UCLA Oregon, because it says -6, but I know that's a load of shit. Usually it's 6.5. or 7. Like, I don't understand why it's 6. I think Caesar Sportsbook is fucking with me right now.
You wanted me to check?
Yeah, check FanDuel or DraftKings. They probably have the more accurate bet. That's because I will be betting on
Dalton
tonight.
starting tonight.
Dalton starting. Okay, so yeah,
Dalton starting.
with that in mind, my idea for this game is simply this. One, I think the Cardinals have been taking so much shit for so long, and they, after last week, they're like, dude, we can't take this anymore. Kyler knows Call of Duty comes out on Tuesday. He's got to get one win in before he takes a week off, so he's got to sling this rock. And by the way, I am buying Call of Duty too. Hopefully I play him on there. With all that in mind, my biggest thing is I think Hop is going to get out and just dominate from the get-go. I think he's going to be hungry. He may have a couple of bad routes with a little communication breakdown. Right now, the line is like 2.5 for Arizona. Both these teams are staring down the barrel of either we go 3-4 and we're back in the race, or we're staring down 2-5. Oh my God, Beth is back. Hi, Beth.
Hey, Beth.
UCLA is plus 5.5.
Plus 5.5. Okay, what the hell? Where did they get plus 7? Or no, Oregon. Okay, no, it's Oregon minus 6. That's what it is. Okay, I can fix that. That's actually kind of fucking irritating. I really am starting to get annoyed with the ESPN app because they don't have like. The problem is the Sportsbook app is so annoying to get into when I'm trying to do these fast while I'm running the show because, of course, I don't plan my time wisely when I get home from work. Matt's heard the story 1,000 times.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Beth, we missed you dearly. Our comment section has not been the same without you. But what happened to your Jaguars? They were my 10-win team. They can't score. And yes, Kevin, I fully agree. He needs to get together fast because I have a buddy of mine who also has him as his QB1, and he's struggling right now. Oh my God. All right, fellas, predictions tonight. How are we thinking Thursday night football? What's the feel? Are we thinking we've got Cardinals get back in the bounce back, or the Saints kind of rally the troops a little bit right before James comes back?
If I had to make my pick, I'm going to say the Cardinals. I think there is no James Conner. I believe Benjamin is healthy, but regardless of the run game, I think Kyler Murray finds some comfort in his new weapon, Ronnie Anderson, with the deep ball. And I think DeAndre Hopkins gets used a lot, and it's going to be classic DeAndre, catches every single fucking pass. I think Cardinals take this one. Not going to say it's a giant lead, but I could see this being like they win by 10 kind of thing.
Okay. McCarthy, what are you feeling?
I know the Saints are banged up, and they took it to the Bengals on Sunday. They actually, all those second string guys took it to the Bengals, almost beat them last week. They had a heartbreak in the last 2 minutes with Jamar Chase getting that last touchdown in the last 2 minutes. With Robbie Anderson in the lineup and Hopkins back in the lineup, Murray's got some weapons to throw to again. I don't underestimate the home crowd at the Superdome. Sorry, the Caesars Superdome. Sorry, I forgot to mention the Caesars.
That's
Superdome
why
now.
Sportsbooks has the line all screwy.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God. Oh, keep going. Sorry.
No, what I'm about to say is I think the Saints are going to surprise this one. I'm taking the Saints in this one, and I think this will be if the Saints win, and I think the Cardinals lose. This will be Cliff Kingsbury's last game as a head coach of the.
Oh, you think if they lose tonight, he's fired by?
I think if they lose tonight, I think he's done. Because they'll have 10 days to prepare for the next opponent,
and their schedule doesn't get easier.
I think they're. The biggest mistake they made was committing to that contract with Kyler Murray. That was a huge mistake, and I don't know. It's just a gut feeling I have. If they lose this game, they go 2-5. And I think they're 3 games out of the division.
Yeah, with Kyler Murray, I think the biggest thing with him and with a lot of these modern athletes, you got to make sure they are focused 110% of the time when they're on the field. Their extracurricular stuff, great. I want you to be a mogul. I want you to have wealth, be on your wildest dreams outside of football, so you're not on the next edition of Broke by ESPN 30 for 30. So my biggest
I
thing
correct
is
myself. It's in Arizona, not New Orleans. But
okay. The home crowd in
I gotta correct
Arizona is
myself there.
not terrible. I will say this though. With Murray, I always was one of those guys that actually did worry about his extracurriculars taking over him, actually like focusing. Whereas a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau, who everyone was worried about, clearly it's not so far because he's playing out of his mind when he's on the field.
Yep.
So with that in mind, as I lose the comment section for a second, they Duval'd. I like that. My biggest thing with tonight's game is if they can get out slinging the rock early and can get out ahead of the Saints, who like I think they need to use Kamara to keep that offense going, and can play and let their pass rushers like J.J. Watt and Marcus Golden cut loose. I think I think that we're gonna have our highest scoring Thursday night football game, which honestly is a low fucking bar. But I think we're actually having a good game tonight. It's gonna be a shootout. If it's not, I think this game should be. I think if this game isn't a shootout, two not so good defenses with offenses who can score points, it's just call it a day. Just it's over. Just get rid of it. Like do Friday night or some shit. Like make it a little more entertaining because Thursday's clearly not working. But
do the Saints even have their big three receivers?
Yeah, they had them that night. The problem was that Tua got knocked down the first 5 minutes.
No, I'm talking about like tonight, like with the Saints. Like, do the Saints even have their big three right now? Like,
I don't know if they have Mike Thomas.
Olave's playing.
Olave's playing. Callaway's playing.
Just my lineup.
I don't know if Landry's playing.
Landry's not playing. He's out too.
Okay, so you get Olave, you get Marquez Callaway, you get Tyquan Smith. So it's going to be not the best score, but like clearly Dalton doesn't care because Callaway and Olave are still good receivers. It's going to be a good, fun scoring game. And by the way, McCarthy, I broke out something you'd enjoy. The Black Chocolate Stout by Brooklyn tonight.
It's a good stout.
Black chocolate stout.
I'm drinking iced tea because I'm going on some lift runs after this.
Okay.
Are we cracking open one for the 6-pack? Are we not doing that yet?
In a little bit, I want to talk headlines. Now that we've got this game, we all made our picks. Let's talk about these headlines. Elijah Moore, my Jets fans, what the hell happened?
So I was talking to McCarthy about it at the pregame show. Well, not the pregame show, but when we were in the lobby for
the green room.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it. I understand. I mean, the part of me that's shocked is mostly because he's only like 17 games into his professional career. If he was going to request a trade because of usage, I would have thought it would have been around trade time for his when his contract was up in a couple years. But I'm not worried. I mean, the team's winning. I know he wants to get used, and I want him to get all the targets in the world. So I think he's special, and I think he's going to be an amazing receiver. And I want him to be happy. I know they reported that there was some sort of personal family issue or matter that he left practice early for, and I think emotions are high. But Joe Douglas apparently is not interested in trading him, which is what I'm happy to hear. And listen, if Debo could work it out with the Niners, then Elijah Moore can definitely work this out with the Jets. I mean, it's just a matter of targets. I think if Zach Wilson can throw him the ball, obviously, or look his way more, I think we'll be fine. But I'm not too worried about it. I think he'll be on the team the rest of this year.
I agree. It's frustrating. I think part of it's frustration, honestly. And the Jets ran the ball a lot last week because the Packers had two good corners covering the two main wideouts, Wilson and Moore. And he still got 30 targets in 6 games. He had no targets last week, which is kind of surprising, but also the way they would run the ball last week, I'm not surprised in the least that, I could sense a little bit of frustration. He took a day off today, a personal day. He was given a day off. I think part of it was just for cooling his jets a little bit, so to speak. No pun intended. But I don't. This doesn't really worry me. I think a lot of part of it has to do with the fact that I think the New York media is kind of fishing for headlines because the Jets have been relatively drama free up until this point. I mean, Denzel Mims asked for a trade as well, but nobody's biting. Nobody's taking that. Nobody's biting on that wide receiver. I think this is just. It'll be fine. They'll be fine.
You know what? I actually do agree with that because one of the biggest media, like, I don't know what it is about Northeast media, Philadelphia, Boston, New York, just brutal to their sports teams. And I think they're always hunting they're always hunting for a headline, right? Yep. And so my biggest thing is right now, let's see what the Jets do. Like, if Elijah gets a touchdown and a couple of receptions on Sunday, who freaking cares? He's a disgruntled second-year guy. The kid's 23 or 24 years old. Dude, I made even dumber decisions when I was 23, 24. I lost my damn driver's license, man. This is the things you do when you're a kid. Like, I think people forget, yes, Elijah Moore makes a lot of money. He's still a kid. So, and by the way, give a quick shout out to Beth. Yes, I helped her draft her fantasy team. She's 4-2. Embarrassingly enough,
4-2.
I haven't. Well, Matt, I expect you to be 4-2.
I was gonna go over something, but you go.
Yeah. I have not checked my Belly Up Fantasy League team that won for the Alex Lemonade. I haven't checked it. It's best ball. There's no reason for me to check it.
What I was going with the 4-2 thing is that, speaking of 4-2, the Jets are 4-2, and I'm more surprised because we're actually decent. We're 4-2, and we're the third seed in the AFC behind the Bills and the Chiefs, which is amazing. So to have news like, players requesting a trade from a team that it looks like it's having a productive season so far. It's very surprising to me, but I hope that this works out for itself. He's been tweeting a little bit, nothing bad, just his usual positive stuff. So we'll see what happens. But like McCarthy was saying, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. Plus, think of the last three opponents of the Jets: the Steelers, Minka Fitzpatrick, the Dolphins, who are pretty good at their corners, and they played the Packers, who have pretty good corners too. So you're not going to get a whole lot of looks or targets if you're playing three stout defenses with very good secondaries.
Yeah, and if anybody watching that Green Bay game last week, I wouldn't want to target if I was Elijah Moore either, because Jair Alexander was all over Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis and everything, and that was not a team that I was hoping, after watching the game, that Zach Wilson was going to throw more than those like 18 passes that he threw. So he's going to have his times where I think he gets like 6 or 7 targets or 5 or 6 receptions. And there's going to be times where he might get 1 or 2. And just at the end of the day, the team's winning, and the ring is what everybody wants.
Yep.
So I'm going to be ballsy because right now my starting receivers for fantasy are Garrett Wilson, Robbie Anderson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I said, screw it. Instead of Duvernay, I put Robbie Anderson in because F it. That's why.
Somebody fucking put a post up on Twitter, and it almost got me. Elijah Moore does not plan to dress for games going forward and wants to be traded from the Jets ASAP, according to his agent Menzel Dims. As soon as I read Menzel Dims, I was like, okay, we're good.
I also started the Jets defense this week and proud.
I also did too. I'm not gonna lie.
My Eagles defense
look at the stats.
I dropped the supposed top-ranked Packers defense. I want to talk about a freaking train wreck that was. Like,
but you look at the stats too with the Broncos. Like they don't really score more than like 17 offensive points per game. Russell doesn't really gets like 200 yards, maybe a passing a game, and I just think this is a recipe for success for the Jets defense that has been playing at an elite level the last few weeks.
I don't know.
Anyways, enough about my
last
team.
headline: Dak Prescott returns Sunday against the Detroit Lions. I admittedly took the Lions in me and Ryan's Craft Brew Sports Pick'em League. Are you in that, Ryan?
I'm not in it, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah, I took the Lions for shits and giggles. I may bet on the Lions for shits and giggles because I always bet on Motor City Dan Campbell, even though he always lets. One of these days he's gonna hit it right. And the last time I bet against the Lions coming off a bye, they beat the Raiders, or they beat somebody. It was last year they beat somebody. I bet on them in a long-term bet. Oh no, they tied the Steelers, and I got my money back. Still counts. So you know what? I will probably be betting on Mercy Dan Campbell. But the question really is, guys, is Dak Prescott going to make a huge difference for Dallas?
I think so. I think Dallas brings that offensive explosion to the Cowboys. I know Cooper Rush was winning games for him as well, but he was very conservative, I think, with his play calling and everything. It wasn't as flashy like Dak usually is, and I think Dak's going to throw that ball deep a lot more. I think he's going to use his weapons. He's going to be using CeeDee Lamb, obviously. He loves Dalton Schultz, and I think he's going to get Michael Gallup in there as well. And he loves dumping the ball off to Pollard and Zeke. So as long as he's fully healthy and, there's really going to be no hiccups with this play, I think Dak is going to get this team back on a winning track. And not like they're bad or anything, obviously being 4-2, but I think they're going to take care of the Lions easily, especially with that defense is doing very well with Micah Parsons.
I hear that. All right.
They need to keep running the ball. That's what they need to do.
Oh, hell yeah, they need to keep running the ball. I think you know what's so funny? I think the Lions, they should have fired Aaron Glenn.
Oh yeah.
I
I love the guy, but
it's kind of like I look at the Lions. We all love their offense. They played so good against Philadelphia week 1. But then again, everyone's like, oh, Philly's defense is that good. It's like Philly's defense had not played all together, and the Lions lit them up for 30-something points. But ever since then, they've kept every team they play under 20. So my biggest question is were the Lions really that good to begin with? Then they lit up Seattle, but Seattle may have the worst defense in the history of football. So my next question from there on out is, I think also they still have enough personnel. I think the best pass rusher in this draft was either Walker or what's-his-face, Thibodeau. I think Hutchinson was third. And you already have Lions fans like Woodboard Sports that I follow on TikTok. They're already talking about they're kind of wishing they took Thibodeau instead of Hutchinson. They knew hell would have froze over, but Hutchinson would have been like Thibodeau right now looks like a better pass rusher. Maybe it's just the fact that the Giants and Wink Martindale are just getting after it. I don't know. What do you guys think about this?
Well, I think anybody that watched Hard Knocks has a soft spot for the entire Lions head coaching staff and everything. Like even Aaron Glenn, he was so fiery in practice and everything in the scrimmages. So I want to see him succeed, but I think the Achilles heel in the Lions right now is that defense, and it starts with the defensive coordinator. I don't see this season getting any better for them defensively. So I think, maybe it's time to cut ties. I know they also don't have all of the players that they need to have a great defense, but coordinator's obviously not doing anything. And it comes a time where I think Dan Campbell is going to look at this and be like, you know what, now I need to play for my job. I'm no longer that rookie safe head coach off the hot seat. Like you got to play for your job, because if you're going to go from having the second pick in the draft to now you're 1-4, could be 1-5 next week. The future's not looking good for you. So that's how my feeling is with the Lions, with that defense, and I don't see them getting the victory over the Cowboys.
Quick joking note right now. So I just saw a tweet from Barstool Sports. Games missed because of getting shot. Brian Robinson 4. Games missed because of a slant boy toe. 4 and counting for Mike Williams. I mean, I'm not. Who's the receiver for the freaking Saints?
Thomas.
Oh, Thomas.
Mike Thomas. Yeah,
Slant
God. I just, it's hysterical to me that this is still a meme. Like, I think Mike Thomas was a very talented receiver, but like, he looks worse and worse every time Brian Robinson steps on that damn field, man. It's getting bad. At a certain point, you got to really like, dude, come on, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see Brian Robinson's progression. Like I had a family member on, my significant other's side that was unfortunately was shot while he was driving his car, and thankfully he lived and he's fine, but his recovery was a lot longer than just those handful of months that he had. So, credit to Robinson. They obviously got the good doctors out there, but it's amazing to see what he's doing given the circumstances of what he went through.
My favorite thing about all of this is the fact that Brian Robinson, like, I despise the Commanders. I always have. And like I cannot wait to watch Brian Robinson run the football every Sunday. I watched that man basically butcher my Hurricanes defense last year and was pissed and angry. And I'm like, but now like I have to be a fan of this guy. Every year the Commanders bring on some guy, either it's Alex Smith and now it's Brian Robinson, where I'm like, I'm rooting for them to make a comeback. I'm rooting for them to be successful off an injury. And ladies and gentlemen, making his triumphant return, his season premiere on the Corner Booth pregame, the host of the Tailgate in the Quad podcast, one of the most obnoxious men of football takes I know. He's obnoxious because he's right half the time, and that's why it's funny. Ladies and gentlemen, diehard Alabama fan, Patriots fan, and one of the best friends I've ever known, Mr. Kevin.
Dude, I don't know what to do. I'm not drinking when I record anymore, so I don't know what to do with my hands.
I was hoping for your return you'd have
put your hands down. Put your hands down.
But like, I understand why you don't. Dude, the beard looks freaking amazing.
It's a damn good beard.
I might be shaving it.
No, keep it. My mom, like when you come down next week, my mom's gonna flip the shit when she sees the beard.
Oh, I didn't say I was shaving the entire thing off. I just mean the beard.
Oh no, she just. I know she'll get a crack out of it because every time you come down, you're always clean shaven. But it's an honor to bring Kevin back, especially for our next segment, ladies and gentlemen. Brought to you by the amazing folks at YeatsOfficial.com. You want amazing shades like these that are basically bulletproof, Jared-proof, and Kevin-proof, technically. Promo code Cornbooth, 10% off. Stylish fit. They have styles fit every single occasion. And you know what? Like, it's inexpensive. $40 for polarized sunglasses. You can't beat that price. That's better than SunCloud. It's better than Peppers. Even I love Peppers. They're the best value for what you're getting. And also, listen, they look a lot more stylish than those Pit Vipers.
Can I also just give a quick pitch for Yeats?
Yeah, go for it.
So, for those who don't know or forget, I have a dog, Saban, little monster. I had like $150 sunglasses that were supposed to be indestructible. They were made out of titanium. It's supposed to take a beating. Saban chewed through the lens, not the lens, chewed through the frame on those. He got he got his mouth on some of my Yeats. The only thing he got off was the nose piece. That's it. Other than that, they were fine.
That's the best testimony you could ever ask for. That's free branding right there.
Yeah.
But listen, you want bulletproof and Saban-proof sunglasses? YeatsOfficial.com, promo code Cornbooth, 10% off. Even Kevin's show has a promo code as well. He can plug that on his own show and his own Twitter as well. But you know what? I love his show. I listen to it all the time. That being said, we got another comment. I can't work anything. Oh, Beth says hi, Kevin.
Hi.
All righty. With that being said, let's crack this 6-pack. Get a little passing league action off the rip. Number 17, K-State versus number 8, TCU. It was going to originally be, Kevin, Q's versus Clemson, but then I realized the line was 13.5, and I was like, why the fuck is this in a 6-pack right now?
Yeah, I was going to say, because you sent the 6-pack earlier, I was like, where the fuck is K-State versus TCU coming from?
I was replacing it with Oregon versus UCLA. But what the problem was is I never checked the lines because it was like weird at work today. I only did my usually I do like belly stuff periodically throughout the day. I only did it on my lunch break, so I was kind of like half looking at the lines. I never checked the Oregon I keep saying Oregon, the Cuse versus Clemson line, and we're literally in the pre-show meet or like literally 30 seconds of the show, and I'm like kind of setting up the lines while Ryan's talking, and I'm looking at him like, 13 a fucking half. Hell fucking no, we're moving this out. And Matt's all pissed now because he has to take it as his upset outside the 6-pack.
Yikes.
Even though Matt's kicking my ass right now. I've had 3 bad weeks in a row.
It's all right. If it pans out, great. If not, FanDuel gave me $10 free bet, so I ain't going to lose any money on it.
Wow, I wish my state allowed betting.
January 1st, baby!
Fucking ridiculous.
It's all right. So when I'm in the car going to the Jets games, when I cross the Connecticut border into New York, my FanDuel times on. It's like, you cannot make bets here. I'm sorry, you're not in a valid location. But as soon as I cross the New Jersey border, boom, I'm able to make as many fucking bets as I want. So I just
proves New York is a shithole of a state and should be forsaken by God.
Wait, I'm in New York.
But
No, you're not
I
forsaken by
can-
God.
I
Just the
can
sports
use-
betting laws.
Oh wait, but I think it was. I think DraftKings was what let me use it in New York. Maybe.
Oh yeah,
DraftKings,
But-
I think DraftKings. I can't remember the other one. Rivers,
MGM.
DraftKings, Rivers, MGM, Caesars. I can't remember the
Well,
other.
either way, it didn't work out for me because I lost.
Like
the
we
parlay.
don't get we can't use Underdog or Caesars or MGM in
Bart.
Connecticut. All we can use is Sugar House and DraftKings and
Oh,
FanDuel.
what
That's
the
it.
fuck,
We don't have Barstool.
Sugar
or
House is the
FanDuel.
Connecticut lottery trying to get in on the sports betting thing, but they fucking suck at it.
Could have come up with a different name. Fucking Sugar House.
The fuck is like
It sounds like a brothel.
That sounds like a southern thing, like a freaking like a bakery down
It's
south.
a
like-
brothel or a
That does
brothel
not
or bakery.
sound like a
Sugar
bakery
House.
down south. That sounds like the
s-
Sugar House Gentlemen's Club with the all white building. The windows are bricked up. You can't see inside. Also, I'd like to point out that is an actual building in Tuscaloosa, and it is a gentleman's club. That is where I'm getting this description from. It's not the
fucking
Sugar House,
amazing.
though, but that would 100%.
Kev, when are we going to
What-
Tuscaloosa? Cruz asked me when am I going to my first Alabama game.
I don't know. We can figure that out.
I'll definitely go next season because I want to go to 2 college games. Like I already am buying tickets for Miami next year, but I do also want to go to a Alabama game. Anyway,
I did see a little infograph the other day about Tennessee and Kentucky. A dude bought tickets for $50 like a few months ago. Now they're worth $300. Yeah, people are selling for $300. It's like
Great investment strategy. Just buy cheap tickets and then flip them if the teams turn out to be good.
Yep.
there you go. It's kind of like it's almost like baseball cards, but it's only one piece of paper instead of 50.
Exactly.
All right, Kansas State coming kind of sneaking into the top 25. Honestly, Kev, I don't know if you guys have talked much about them because they're kind of like that back end of the Big 12 when it comes to like the front runners, but they've kind of snuck back into the top 25. TCU, obviously, big win 2 weeks ago over Kansas, or 2 weeks ago over Kansas. They've kind of stuck around the top 10. Where are you leaning right now? You being our college football expert with the Big 12 passing league.
I feel like I have to be consistent because we did pick this game in our show because we pick 4 games every week, sometimes 5. But I'll go with the same thing. K-State. Let's keep it rolling with the Wildcats. K-State. We don't do scores here, so I don't even have to worry about that. I'm going K-State.
Yeah. We just straight money lines on the show. It makes it so much easier.
So I'll go K-State, and that's enough to be an upset, right?
Yeah, because TCU's 3.5-point favorites at home. Wait, no, that's not enough to be an upset. It'd be 6.5.
Because that'd be yeah. So it's not.
I forgot.
So I'm just gonna go with K-State.
There you go. I am going with TCU. I'm tired of making dumb college upset picks that cost me money and cost me points against Matt in this pick competition. It's starting to really piss me the fuck off. TCU, I watched them. They did get lucky against Kansas. That towards the end of that game, multiple times the refs let them get away with defensive holding and pass interference calls in that last drive by Kansas against a backup quarterback. That being said, I want to be proven wrong by Kansas State because I watched them play once this year, and I was not impressed at all. I will admit, though, they've always had a consistent program, but then again, the last time K-State was ranked, I think Colin Klein was their quarterback. So that being said, give me TCU and the Horned Frogs as my pick this week. Ryan?
Go TCU. Got to stick with my Christian brethren.
I'm gonna go TCU as well, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We just decided about this game about 5 minutes ago, so I had no time to look into it. So
I didn't either.
Favorite. I'm going with the favorite
did I.
just as a YOLO, I guess you could say.
Kevin's lone wolfing it like Rich Eisen this week.
I
Oh,
feel
that's
like I
gonna be
do a
hard.
lot when I come on the show.
I mean, listen, Ryan, if you want to get me one of those little wolf caps, I'll do that shit every fucking week because I end up lone wolfing. What was it last week? We had LeDuc and the boys from what is it? Freaking High Low on, and I was lone wolfing for half the picks. Andrew and LeDuc at freaking 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. I'm still hungover. He's texting me about all these like wins he got. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm hungover.
He's a
Leave me
dad. He's a dad. He's up.
I know
he's
he's
always
a dad. He's also a jackass for sending me tennis. Or he's like, oh, Utah got the win. I'm like, shut up, bro. Come on. I'm like, Andrew, I love having you on the show, dude, but come on. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to get myself ready for a workout. Leave me alone. All right. Speaking of leaving me alone, Texas refuses to do it in these bets. Texas is 6.5-point favorites over Oklahoma State on the road. This is my upset pick. I hate the Cowboys because of what they did to De'Aaron King's knee, but I love them in this game because the fact that Texas are road favorites and they're 9 spots behind them in the rankings, it just smells like come on, Jared. Like, this just smells like a Jared bet right here. So, give me OK State as my upset this week. I like the Cowboys offense. I like how they play football, and they've always had kind of like this consistency all year. They've kind of hung around the 15-10 range. Texas has been so up and down. Listen, Quinn Ewers is the dude. Don't get me started. Like, on film, he's got just that like natural arm talent, like Jeff George. The wrist is flicked. That ball's coming out like a missile. But he's young. They're on the road. And they're favorites. That just smells bad to me. This kind of feels like a little bit like Miami going into Pitt 2017 with Malik Rozier coming off of like a 4-touchdown performance, and they're staring down a national championship bid. A lot less stakes on the line, obviously, but this kind of gives you that same vibe of like the semi-unproven road team. Listen, Alabama played down to their competition that week, so I'm not going to give them that loss too much credit. It was early in the season, but I want to see Texas can come out and smack them. But in my opinion, this is gonna be a close game. Oklahoma State's got
it. Terrible pick.
Oh yeah, I know.
Horrendous. Look, Texas looked good with Hudson Card at quarterback on one fucking leg. Quinn Ewers makes this team a different animal that is hard to beat. I don't care if they're on the road. They have Steve Sarkisian calling plays still. It's his offense. I expect Texas to put up a fuck ton of points. Also, here's a little fun fact for you. Texas is 8-1 following a Taylor Swift album release. Midnight's releases in 4 hours and 13
minutes. I
minutes.
love that stat so much. You have no idea. Even I'm betting against it.
Give me Texas, and I know we don't do spreads. Give me Texas with the points.
Ooh.
Fuck it.
Kev is going Texas with the points. That's impressive. Ryan.
I was gonna go with Oklahoma State, but after hearing that stat that Kev dropped, I think I might go with Texas. Plus the points.
I like Texas as well. Oklahoma State usually struggles to get about 4 yards per carry, and Texas has a pretty solid run defense. Texas offense isn't always there, but the defense usually always shows up. So I think it's gonna be a close game though. But give me Texas with the money line.
All right, we're doing, instead of the lone wolf hat, we're doing the lone wolf shades. I don't know. I'm trying things out right now. I'll wear the shades for the next pick. I don't know. Something about this game just smells like a Texas loss to me. Speaking of losing, Oregon versus UCLA. Bo Nix, Kevin's favorite quarterback, in the line taking on UCLA, who's honestly had a really great year this year. And I low-key have looked at this game 4 times and still haven't made a pick yet, so I'm going last. Who wants to go first?
Oh, I can start you off on this one. I'm going UCLA. Right. I'm done with Bo Nix. He just continuously fucks me over whenever I bet on him. But I like UCLA. I think they get a good offensive line. I think that's going to hold its own against the Oregon pass rush. But Bruins overall, I think, are a tough team with a versatile offense. Plus, like I said, Bo Nix just continuously fucks me whenever I try and take him in FanDuel. So I'm going to pick against him.
Kevin.
Bo Nix struggled against Arizona. He didn't play badly, didn't play great. Take out the Georgia game, though. He's been on a very good run lately. I think it's time for the wheels to fall off the Chip Kelly experience at UCLA, I'm rocking with Oregon.
Wow. McCarthy.
Admittedly, I haven't paid as much attention to college football as I have in years past. But I know UCLA has been playing pretty decent lately, and Oregon's got back on track in terms of wins. This is a good. I mean, either way you pick, I think it's a good pick. So that being said, you got when you have the Oregon Ducks home crowd behind you, you can't lose. So I'm gonna go with Oregon.
I wasn't going to take UCLA this entire time, but one, I got to make up some points on Matt. Two, they are in Autzen Stadium, and three, I was looking at Bo Nix's stats at lunch today, and I was like, oh, so he's not having a terrible season. I thought and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, Oregon's back in the top 10. What the hell happened? So for that question alone, give me Oregon. Matt's lone wolfing it on UCLA.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. All right, switching to NFL ball now. This game just screams mediocrity, disappointment, and just bad ideas. The motto for the AFC South. I guess I'll start first. I'm taking the Titans at home. I bet too many NFL road dogs. I think it's where I lose most of my money. And I don't care if Jonathan Taylor's playing. I really don't. That offense looks anemic. They can't. That offensive line is the worst performance I've seen all year. With how much talent they have. With all this being said, it would be so easy for me to pick the Colts because of obviously JT being back. But I think Tannehill's playing. He knows he's playing for his job. He knows they got that kid number 7 waiting in the wings. It's so easy for them just to pull him because next year he's making jack shit. And he knows he's gonna be an open market QB. He's playing for another contract. Give me the Titans getting the road here. They're not covering. Like, this is gonna be a 1-point game. Actually, they may cover. Honestly, it might be a game winning field goal, like 20-17 or something atrocious. But give me the Titans here.
I'm gonna go Indy right there. Titans' window for greatness is open and closed on them. Vrabel missed his opportunities, I think, with going anywhere past the AFC Championship game in the last year or so. But I like Indy. They're on a run with a 2-game win streak. They finally beat the Jags. I think they're going to take down Tennessee and take first in the South. Titans defense surrenders 23.6 points per game, and you got the Colts getting Jonathan Taylor and possibly Nyheim Hines back. So I'm looking to see how this team's going to play, considering they put 34 points up last week, but now they got their 2 top running backs back this week. So we'll see how they go. But give me Indy over the Titans. I don't have confidence in Ryan Tannehill, and I think Indy's done until they can just kind of rebuild that little offensive roster.
McCarthy.
Do I have to pick this game?
If I have to gamble on it, you have to pick it.
Oh God, I don't want to pick this game because the Colts have been getting steam. As Matt said, the Colts have been getting steam. Titans are just, their defense is decent, but their offense is just Derrick Henry left, Derrick Henry right, Derrick Henry up the middle, and it gets very vanilla after a while because you know what to expect. But yeah, but that being said, I'm gonna have to go just because they're at home. I'm going with the Titans in this one. It'll be a low scoring game. It'll be like 19-16 or 17-14, but I'm going with the Titans.
All right, I got McCarthy's. I got the power of God on my side from McCarthy. All right, Kevin.
I mean, I'm going with the Titans. Matt Ryan is washed with a capital W. Derrick Henry is going to run all over them.
What's the Colts run defense ranking right now? They got to be in the bottom 5, right? It should. They're not great against the run. At least last time I checked. See, even Beth's with us, Kevin. See, Matt, you're really lone wolfing it this week.
Listen, I got this. I don't really got this, but I'm gonna see if I can get this. Let me look up this Titans run defense.
I'm looking it up too.
Indy's is tied for 21st.
Okay.
Titans are somewhere that I'm not seeing.
Titans are top 2 run defense. Actually, they're tied for second.
I have
Oh.
fifth in terms of yards allowed.
516. Yeah, they're
I am
tied with
reassured
Los Angeles.
about that. Let's go.
I have per game.
Either
Oh,
way,
I was going in
still
total.
makes me happy. With that being said, all right, moving on, we have this game. This game just looks fun to me. This is where I might actually throw my my little computer to set to, because like I just think there's gonna be a bet the over on this game. I still think this is gonna be fun. Mariota and the Falcons without Cordell Patterson are just entertaining because they spread the ball around and they score points. They were one Grady Jarrett bullshit penalty from being the Bucs and being 4-2 right now. And with all that being said, the Bengals are one of the luckiest teams alive. But the problem is the Bengals are at home. The Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow connection is working, and I think the Falcons get shredded. They're going to score and they're going to keep it close. I think the Falcons cover, but I got to take the Bengals money line wise. For me, I can't bet against Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
I'm also going to take the Bengals in this one. It's been fun watching Atlanta give Tampa a run for its money for that division, but I think the Bengals are going to walk away 4-3 after this game. Burrow averages about 269.3 yards per game passing and 2 touchdowns, and Atlanta ranks about 28th in total defense. And you got Chase, Higgins, Boyd, Burrow, and Mixon in town, so I'm taking the Bengals money line on this one.
Kevin.
I'll let Ryan go first. I haven't decided.
Okay.
Give me the upset in this one.
Okay.
I like the Falcons. They're scrappy. They're a scrappy bunch. Yeah, I hate to use that term, but because it's so cliched. But this team is
Coach's son.
Coaches. But yeah, what my buddy, my broadcast partner Dustin mentioned it. He's been mentioning the last couple of weeks. He says there's something about this team with the Falcons. Like you kind of don't know what they are, but they keep things close. I think they're the best 3-3 team in the league, and he's probably right. I don't know what to expect from the Falcons. They could, but I think the Falcons will upset the Bengals in this one. I think they'll walk away with the W and some Skyline chili.
There you go.
I couldn't decide if I wanted this to be my upset or not, so that's why I let Ryan go first. So I'm going with the Falcons. I think Mariota is so much fun to fucking watch. I'm hoping for a Kyle Pitts breakout game in year 2 because he hasn't had one yet. But yeah, I like the Falcons in this one.
He torched the Jets last year. It was in London soil, but I do remember.
Yeah, he hasn't had a breakout game in America.
That is true. We'll give it to him.
This is one of those games I add to my NFL upset parlay. I do it every week for like $1. I bet like 5 NFL games I think could be upset money line wise. It's only like for like $50 payout, but still, it's just fun for me. And like I think this week, this is one of those games. I'll probably bet for the Bengals my 6-pack, but I'll bet against them in like my upset parlay. So either way, I'm winning. So,
unless the game right before them, the upset doesn't happen, and then you're losing.
That happened last week, like because the goddamn Jaguars, my upset, and no, it was the freaking Ravens who basically pulled their best New York Knicks impression, like choking away that loss. I swear, Lamar Jackson just decided, all right, you know what? It's New York's time to shine. Just torched both of my parlays within 30 seconds. I'm like, well, that's fucked. Oh my God. Betting on football this year has been horrendous.
Usually I get the first like 4 out of the 7 games correct, and then it comes down to the last 2, and they just fuck me over.
Speaking of horrendous, who the fuck made this line? This is a layup. It should be like 6.5 right now. The Chiefs coming off a loss. The Niners lost half their defense to injuries. And they just lost to the Falcons, who are like a poor man's version of the Chiefs offense with a more mobile quarterback. Like, seriously, just toss this one to Kansas City. That's all I gotta say. Like, come on, man.
My thoughts and prayers are going to be with the 49ers this week. I think the Chiefs coming off a loss during a Josh Allen revenge game. I don't think Mahomes anybody's going to be happy, and I think they're going to pour it on San Fran. So give me the Chiefs with this one.
Which one y'all want to go?
I think the 49ers emotions are going to be running high after their Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs. I think they're going to have that fire in them. Jimmy G is going to come out slinging the ball, and then they're only going to lose by 30.
I love the mislead. It was perfect.
This is absolutely positively mediocre.
That's just vintage Kevin right there. Just absolutely misled everybody. Oh my god,
Yeah.
That's perfect.
I'm also going with the Chefs. We'll make it unanimous.
Wow, we have one clean sweep today. I'm loving this. Back in the day when we had like 5 people on our show every week because it was me, Kev, JD, Samir, and freaking Pat. We literally like those clean sweeps were like very rare. Except there was that one week a couple years ago. Kev, I think it was like what five games out of the 6 were all clean sweeps. It was like
I think so.
It was like the worst pick 6 back of all time.
Because
I think we all lost half of them.
Whoever went fit that had nothing left to say.
Yeah, it was I think it was like one of the last weeks of the season for the 2020 season. We were just all like giving up on life at that point. We're like, this is bullshit. We're all getting smoked right now. I think the worst part was I think I think we all had a horrible week. I think the person who didn't pick that lone wolf on that last game, I think it was like Pat, had the most points, and it was hysterical how he did it too. Even though it's so funny, Matt's beating me, but he's already lost what 2 or 3 gimmies in a row this year.
Yeah, I got fucked the first 2 weeks on my gimmies, and then I went college ball, and I just went on a streak.
Yeah, I gave him the worst advice I ever gave him. Hey Matt, hey dummy, stop betting NFL for your gimmies. Me and Kevin learned this the hard way.
Yeah, college for gimmies is so much better if you're just doing straight money line.
Yeah, I think my first week I did Niners over Bears. I thought that was a gimme. Figured the Bears were gonna be like 1-17 or whatever. That fucked me over. And then I think the next one I took the Colts over
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Well, you thought they were going 116 and not 11-6 like that simulator said.
I warned you about that game. I said Jacksonville in Jacksonville. Oh my god, the Colts are fucked. And you're like, nah.
I was high on the whole Matt Ryan in Indianapolis thing, and I thought Jonathan Taylor was still going to be that top guy. And I was way fucking wrong.
Like, I'm just looking at the college games. I don't know why anyone wouldn't do a college gimme, like Tennessee versus Tennessee Martin. Easy gimme.
Like that might be my gimme. I'm looking at like thing is like I get a little greedy. So like I look on the sportsbook app, I try to see what gimme is still a winnable money line. So last week I took Ole Miss and it got really close at one point. I was like, oh no, I'm done betting on Ole Miss after last week. After the last 2 weeks of betting on Ole Miss. My gimmies, Kevin. I've learned my lesson. Lane Kiffin is trying to give me a heart attack.
You don't
-2.5.
You don't pick. Yeah, we just spent time talking about that. You don't pick Power 5 matchups for a gimme in college unless it's Ohio State versus Iowa this weekend. Then that's a pretty safe gimme. But if it's not like a top 5 team versus another Power 5 team, just don't pick that. Go Power 5 versus Group of 5 every time.
I was gonna. All right, so we're moving on to gimmies. Speaking of gimmies, I was going to take Miami over Duke, but listen, I'm not betting on my Hurricanes so they beat a team they should beat by 40. So after the Middle Tennessee State game, I basically said to myself, I love this team, but they're like my child who just got arrested and sent to prison. Like, they got to earn my trust back.
Fair.
That Kevin, you understand how drunk I got that night after that game?
Yeah. Dude, you should have seen me after Saturday.
I talked to you. Do you remember that?
Like you texted me or we spoke on the phone?
We were on Xbox together, and you were like,
I played Xbox that night.
You were
Damn.
sounding like you're about to rip one, like throwing up. And I'm like, dude, go get some water, go to bed. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And you're like, okay.
I was on Xbox Saturday.
Yes. And then I joined the party with like Pat and Justin for like 2 hours, like 45 minutes. And they got off. I joined my buddies from Southbury because I was like worried about you. They're like, go get some water, bro. You looked like you sounded like death.
Dude, I don't know. I went upstairs, and then next thing I knew, it was 3 a.m. and I was asleep on my floor.
As you should be. Oh my god.
Okay.
Wow, breaking news. Josh Donaldson gets a hit.
The Rain Man's back?
No, he's not fucking back. He fucking sucks.
God. I want to take this as my gimme,
$50.
Kevin. I really want to take Wake Forest over Boston College, but I'm like, I don't think 20.5 is enough for me. No. Matt, who's your gimme right now?
Interesting you ask
Oh,
me.
you don't
'cause
have a
my-
gimme. You never took an upset pick. You
Ah,
got big
fuck,
juice.
yeah, fuck Syracuse. My gimme's Wake Forest.
So you're not going with an upset this week, then?
Nah, fuck Syracuse.
He's
They're gonna screw
forsaking
me.
the extra point. This is the ballsiest move I've ever seen.
I'm
I
confident
mean,
this week. Give
but
me-
it makes sense though, because if he loses the gimme, he loses a point, or if he loses the upset, he loses a point. If he
No, he doesn't lose
just
a
picks-
point in an upset.
Oh no, it's a gimme.
Yeah.
If you
So he
lose-
basically
oh.
is guaranteed a point, but he doesn't get a shot at a second point. Who'd you say it was, Matt?
Wake Forest over Boston College.
Fuck you.
That's why I was
All
like,
right.
funny you mentioned me on
I
this
gave you Tennessee versus Tennessee Martin.
I know. I'm looking to see if it's a bettable money line right now.
There is no money line. There's no
Oh,
line.
I can't bet it.
No,
I
one.
have.
Take, James Madison.
I'm seeing like minus 30. I think no, minus 37.5.
Yeah, I think
For-
wait, time to go to
uh,
DraftKings.
DraftKings peaks at a certain freaking what's it called?
Jared,
They
all you have
peak-
to do is take UConn.
You know what? Shut up, Matt. I'm taking Alabama against Mississippi State. I'm for joyless murder. Not even murder ball. Like I'm expecting somebody to shank a Mississippi State player on the field.
That would have been my gimme if
Well, I'm living vicariously through you. So yes, Bama is my gimme this week because I seriously think. Well, one, I feel like Kevin, you should love that. Basically, Philadelphia, because of Hurts, has adopted joyless murder ball as their strategy for half of their game plan. And two, Alabama, I think, is going to actually commit murder on Saturday. I mean, like this is going to be fucking ugly. The Pirate is probably going to cry by the end of the game.
that's fair.
Yeah. I'm picking Bama. Some bonus cans. I actually deleted the title, so we won't worry about that right now. Bonus cans, by the way, Kev, we added as kind of a nice way to add games you should probably throw on your list. Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't think about that.
What are bonus cans?
Bonus cans are basically just like games that we love, but we didn't put in our top 10. Obviously, one being Clemson versus Syracuse. We added it as like another way for games we're probably going to bet on, NFL and college.
Well, I don't watch college, or I don't watch the NFL anymore. I
The
watch the
Patriots-
Patriots, and that's
The
it.
Patriots. Oh, here it is. Bonus cans presented by the amazing people at candidates.com. Listen, as myself, one of the guys who literally used to dip all the time, but realized it wasn't good for me, is a great alternative. As Kevin can attest to, going on vacation with me, I burned through about a 10.5 a week. And here's the thing about this stuff. It's made with American grown hemp, black pepper, and coconut strands, and all other ingredients that do not actually harm your teeth, will not give you cancer. It's tobacco, nicotine free, and it gives you 10% CBD, which honestly is great for your joints. I'm about to go pack a lipper when I go upstairs after I eat dinner. I love this stuff. They are an amazing company. They literally fucked up my order a month ago and said, "Hey, Jared, we realized you shorted you a tin. We're going to send you your entire order again free of charge." It's like a $70 value just for free. No promo code needed. That's the kind of company they are. They're just good people. and it's a great product. I vouch for it. Their energy ones are amazing. I'm actually going to try to get their sleep ones that have a little melatonin in them. The problem is I'm terrified that I'll fall asleep with a dip tin in my mouth, which I've done before, by the way.
Oh, so you've done it before, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to choke on a freaking pouch of fucking hemp as much as that'd be interesting. So yeah, Beth said it right there. Really good. I love the company, all they stand for. So other bonus cans. I would love to bet like the money line for Dallas and freaking Detroit. It's close enough of a line where I'd take Detroit's points. They're a touchdown dog. I would take that. Dak's first game back, a little rusty. Lions coming off a bye, a little pissed off, hearing how they're going to fire their head coach. Kind of seems like a game they might cover. Another one I love is Baltimore and Cleveland. Now, I don't know. Is this the game? Is Watson back yet? No, it's how long is he?
Week
12.
Yeah, week
12.
12 he comes
Never
back.
mind. I thought it was originally 6, right?
No.
It was 6, and then the NFL
Okay.
challenge or whatever, they made it 11.
Okay. Jacoby Brissett coming off a bad loss. Lamar Jackson coming off a bad loss. This game is going to be hyper competitive. I love this. Take the over. It's only 46. I think both teams will score over 23 points. That's easy. Give me the Ravens in that one. Another one you guys would love is Jags Giants. What do you guys think? I kind of loving this game a little bit right now. I really think the Giants are coming off a hot streak. They've been playing really well. I did take them in my pool, but there's something about the Jaguars at home, a team that's publicly favored but not favored by Vegas. Why the line is only -3 for the Jags? They're telling us something because the Giants should be favored in this. So I would take the Jags here.
I get this feeling this is going to be just kind of like a mediocre game. That's not really. It's like it's kind of fun to watch, but it's not going to be nothing special. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Giants' offense, obviously, but I think they just have the right personnel and staff, so it's clicking. I'd take the Jaguars in this one. I just don't see this one really being enjoyable to watch.
Fair. And the last one I love is Jets and Broncos. This game could easily be a giant clusterfuck, or it could be the Jets blowing them out, or Russ returning to form. I have no idea. I'm staying away from this game with a giant cross. Almost, and I don't know if I'm more disturbed by this game's money line of +1, -1, or what we showed before of Russ's Subway commercial. Kevin, if you haven't seen it, I'll see you after the show's over. It is
those bad
commercials.
It's awful. This is the worst. So
it's on par with Russ, but it's really bad.
It's atrocious. Any college games that you love this weekend, Kev? We haven't talked about yet.
Yes, I am loving Timmy Chang in the Rainbow Warriors at +5.5 against Colorado State. Colorado State's fucking abysmal. Hawaii's not much better, but they're better than Colorado State. I think they will easily win that game.
I love his delivery. Timmy Chang. I love that shit. Also, by the way, the Rainbow Warriors helmets are the best, one of the best in college football.
Oh,
I
fucking
will
fire.
Fight people on that. Like, I tried to apply to the University of Hawaii just because of their merchandise here.
Fair.
I used to have a University of Hawaii t-shirt, and it had like the freaking, like the tribal thing going down the spine of it. It was beautiful. Because one of my friends visited the campus, so I got a t-shirt.
I also love Vanderbilt +14 against Mizzou.
Okay. I think Iowa's going to... sorry.
I was going to say, it is at Mizzou, and I have absolutely no respect for the Missouri Tigers.
I don't either. They haven't been good since they left the Big 12.
They made an SEC championship in 2012.
That game, they got
you.
absolutely freaking roped, though, Kev. That game.
Well, they still made it.
Yeah, true. One game I love for covering is you want to take an easy cover, Iowa covering against Ohio State. They're 30-point dogs right now. You want a fucking layup cover? I got you. I want Ohio State. There's no way in hell that game is going to be a 30-point blowout.
It's going to be really hard for Iowa to cover when they kick a field goal, and that's the only points they score all game.
But they might hold Ohio State to 20 points. That's the thing. Like, that defense is good.
They're not holding Ohio State to 20. They might hold them to 28, 30.
Still covers. If they kick a field goal and hold them to 30, that covers, and that gets me my money line. I may take that money line just to say F you to Ohio State. That's such a gimme right now. Also, another one I love is Cincy -3 on the road against SMU.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I love SMU +3 against Cincy.
I like both sides of that game. I'm just saying that's a great game if you want to go either way with it.
Did you see last week Tanner Mordecai had like a 60-yard rushing touchdown against Navy? Outran the entire Navy defense. The U.S. Marine Corps recruiting Twitter account promoted that tweet.
That's hysterical.
Incredible. Love the pettiness of the branch of the military.
Absolutely love it. Another game, if you want to, I won't bet on this game for the fact I'm losing in the points right now. But if you want to get a money line, Miami to cover at -9, I don't love it, but I do love it. I got to check on Miami's injuries right now because I know they just lost like a couple key players in that game against Virginia Tech. But Van Dyke's back to his 2021 form, and that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Because I think Mario Cristobal said to Josh Gaddis, either you start calling passing plays or you're fired. And Kevin, I don't know if you know me pretty well, but I don't know if you know exactly what injury I'm talking about to a certain safety.
I have no idea.
James Williams, but also Henry Parrish is back this week. Thank God, I think. But either way, I'm taking Miami against Duke in that one. I'll probably bet on them anyway. But yeah, folks. We appreciate Ryan for stopping by. Ryan, where can the amazing folks find you?
Oh, well, I didn't get my gimme. My gimme is Oregon State over Colorado.
Right. Okay, there you go.
And the extra cans is Penn State and Minnesota. That's going to be a fun game.
Ooh.
Yeah. We'll have to see how Penn State recovers. But you can find me down here personally at Who is Ryan MCC. No credentials required. Victory Monday on Mondays at 8:45 p.m. And then the regular show, 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. I also released a new podcast with my other affiliate in New York, Godzilla Media. It's called Have Another Donut. It's a New Jersey Devils podcast. I also cover the Utica Comets and the Adirondack Thunder in that podcast. So check it out if you're a hockey fan, especially if you're a New Jersey Devils fan. Appreciate it.
There you go. All right, Kevin, where can we find your amazing show at?
At Quad Tailgate. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We don't really use Facebook or TikTok because we're too young for Facebook and we're too old for TikTok. So,
and you don't have a Matt producing 4 or 5 TikToks a month on your podcast.
Nope, I do, and this is not a knock against my co-host. I told him that he didn't have to do anything. I do everything for the show except record. Kieran's there for that, which I appreciate him greatly for. But yeah.
You can find me and Matt at Corner Booth Matt and at Belly Up Jared. Belly Up Jared is my Twitter, I believe, for purposes of being management, and it's Corner Booth Jared on everything else, I believe. And you can also check us out on our TikTok, our Facebook page, and our Twitter, which is actually Kevin helped build up when he used to be my co-host. Either way, 2 of the shows I promote try to promote the most, along with Craft for Sports, is of course Take in the Quad and No Credentials Required. 2 amazing shows. We appreciate them both for stopping by. We shout out to our sponsors, YeastOfficial.com and Canada Dips. Amazing companies, amazing people. We appreciate you stopping by. The Thursday Night Football kicks off now. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday for another edition of Corner of the Pod.
And if you don't want to watch the dog shit that is Thursday Night Football, Troy Trojans in South Alabama are in the second quarter, and Virginia versus Georgia Tech is also in the second quarter.
I know you have a hatred of the NFL right now, Kevin, but this game actually should be fun.
Kevin, did you see South Alabama's throwback helmets? They're pretty cool.
I believe I did.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're pretty sweet. I check that out.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by. I'm gonna go get some food. I'm starving, and go Canes. Peace.